and on August 15th, 1951, then we moved to Redmond, and he started operating the cream station. So then he would go out 4 days a week and pick up cream in the various areas around Central Oregon. My mother was in the office, and my brother Jack and I were in high school, so we would come down after school and wash the cans by hand, and that was how we started out. So I said, well, you know, Dad, you can do that as long as you want, I'm sure, as far as making butter and dry milk. But if I come back into business, that's not what I want to do. He said, well, what do you want to do? I said, well, what I want to do, I want to see us become a full-line processor of dairy products. So then in January of 1967, then we started fresh milk and ice cream. And so then we didn't have much business at that time. We had to build it from the ground up, and that's exactly what we did. Well, you know what happened in 1981? The economy started going the wrong way, and yet we had to buy it at that time if we were going to buy it. But once again, overnight, we had to double our production, double our sales doubled, and our accounts receivable doubled, and our accounts payable doubled, and this was even a bigger nut for us to crack. We had to generate income in order to make those payments, and the only way we were going to do that was to combine routes so that you could make some savings as far as your labor was concerned. And we decided we didn't want to do that forever. So then we looked around and decided that we would join the Quality Checked Dairy Products Association. So then that's when we dropped the Heart of Oregon and we dropped the Country Fresh and we went with Eberhard's Quality Checked. There's been a real concentration, so everybody's gotten larger, because part of that has been brought about because as you go along, if you're not getting larger, then your cost of production is too high, and you can't be competitive. They'll go to work about midnight and load 6,500 gallons of milk on the tanker. They'll be here at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then we process the milk that day.
Wow.
So that gives us fresh product, because what you're trying to do is get that milk as fresh as possible to keep those bacteria counts down. And then about 8 years ago, then we went into a program where we wanted milk only from cows that did not have the added growth hormone, RBST. And so again, you pay extra for that. And yet what we found out, the better dairy farmers, they want to be in that program. So the quality of our milk actually went up at that time, because some of the dairy farmers didn't want to do it, and that was okay because there was plenty of dairy farmers out there that wanted to do it. So therefore, not a problem as far as getting a good supply of milk. We buy what they call twofold pure bourbon vanilla, and from Madagascar, and that's where the best vanilla beans in the world come from. And so that gives us a really good vanilla flavor for the ice cream. So there's that. Then also Death by Chocolate is one of my favorites, and then one of our new flavors, which is salted caramel, that one also is my favorite. So the consumption of butter in the United States has gone up 1 pound per person. That is huge. And so what they've determined is that butter isn't as bad for you as they thought it was. So the real thing is, and one of my college professors used to say, you must eat in moderation. We're in the dairy business. We need an icon. So we thought about that and said, you know, a cow, we should have a cow, because after all, that's where the milk comes from. So we worked with the marketing department at Quality Checked and said, okay, we want a friendly cow, one that has a nice smile on her face. So we came up with the cow that we see now, and so we got that, and we said, you know, she ought to have a name. So how do we want to do that? So we decided, let's have a contest. So we decided to have a contest, and we said, you know, let's make this prize big enough that people really want to be involved and really want to get and send their names in. So the prize was 1 week in Hawaii in a condo for 2 people. Well, we got over 1,500 entries for a name for Moo Moo Bell.